If I met you on an airplane and you asked me where I was from, depending on who you were and the context of the situation would determine the answer I'd give you, right? I mean, this just makes sense. If you told me you were from Ontario, I might say, oh, I'm from Elmer, Ontario. Or if I found out you were from Toronto, I'd say, well, I'm from near London, because nobody from Toronto has ever heard of Elmer. Or I might say, I'm from Manitoba, or I'm from 5 hours north of Winnipeg. Or I might say, I lived for 3 years in Saskatchewan, or I spent 3 months of every year in Saskatchewan. All of these things are true, but if you don't know me and my timeline, it would be kind of hard to figure out how all the pieces fit. I was born in Manitoba, I lived in Ontario for 16 years, then I moved back to Manitoba, then I went to Saskatchewan for Bible school, and now I live in Manitoba, but I still go to Saskatchewan to work at a Bible camp for every summer. Do you see? All of those details are true, but depending on the conversation will depend on which details I offer, which details I tell you about. When Matthew opened up his gospel, he started with where Jesus came from, not physically, but biologically. He hoped to answer the question, who is Jesus? Does he have the right to say that he is the son of David or the promised Messiah? And the answer is yes. I remember being a kid and hating genealogies. And worse was if somebody asked you to read one out loud and you just start stumbling over all the weird Bible names. Well, here are 2 things that have really helped me.
How to read genealogies of the Bible 101.
Number 1, I learned that nobody knows how to say those Bible names. Nobody. So you just have to fake it until you make it. So if you ever get asked to read them out loud, do what I did when I was in Bible school. It earned me a lot of respect.
All right, class, who would like to read 1 Chronicles 6 verses 3 to 15?
Sure, I can.
This is the son of Aaron. Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, Ithamar. Eleazar was the father of Phinehas. Phinehas the father of Abishai. Abishai the father of Buki. Buki the father of Uzi. Uzi the father of Zariah. Zariah the father of Marioth.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Marioth the father of Amariah. Amariah the father of Ahitub. Ahitub the father of Zadok. Zadok the father of Ahamazai. Ahamazai the father of Azariah. The father of Johanan. Johanan the father of Azariah. Azariah the father of Amariah. Amariah the father of Ahitub. Ahitub the father of Zadok. Zadok the father of Shalom. Shalom the father of Hilkiah. Hilkiah the father of Azariah. Azariah the father of Zariah. Zariah the father of Zadok.
And number 2, if you actually take the time to look and figure out who these dead guys are, you'll see that there's actually some really amazing things going on, and this genealogy is there for a purpose. So for the next several months, we are going to spend time during Weird Bible Wednesdays looking at the genealogy of Jesus in Matthew in depth. And my hope is by the end of this study, you will not be able to say that genealogies are boring, because I can tell you that it is anything but. Along the way, we're gonna hear stories of kings and queens, shepherds, prostitutes, evil people, good people. There are stories of intrigue, crazy families, controversy, passion and romance, and everything in between. It's going to be awesome. So before we get into the genealogy, let's spend just a little bit of time talking about the purpose behind the whole book of Matthew. A really good website called gotquestions.org pointed out that the book of Matthew talks about the Old Testament more than any other book in the New Testament. This shows us that the audience that Matthew was trying to write to was probably the Jewish people, and he was trying to show them that Jesus was the long-awaited Messiah and that he actually fulfills the Old Testament requirements for the Messiah. He makes this super clear. He says in the very first sentence of the book, this is the genealogy of Jesus, the Messiah. So right at the beginning of the Bible, in the book of Genesis, when Adam and Eve sinned, God promised that the seed of Eve, the seed of the woman, would come and crush the serpent's head, or Satan's head. And as time went on, there were so many prophecies that came throughout the whole Bible pointing us to this Messiah. Over 300 prophecies. And did you know that Jesus fulfilled these prophecies? Every single one of them. We'll be getting into this way more in the coming Wednesdays, but for now, I would like to hear from you. So in the comments below, why don't you let me know, how far back can you trace your ancestors? Do you know any cool, crazy facts about them? Quite honestly, I don't know very much. I only know about my grandparents, and on my mom's side, my grandparents were missionaries in the Belcher Islands, in Belize, and in Iowa, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, learning about your history is awesome, and I'm hoping you're excited to learn more about Jesus' history. So we will see you guys later, and have a happy Wednesday. Bye!